What's up, guys? I'm hella excited today. I have been waiting on this package for a very long time. Cannot believe it is finally here, all the way from Poland. This is the Coolerworx Carbon Pro Edition shifter for the Focus ST. I believe this fits the Focus RS as well. But yeah, I can't wait. As you can see, haven't unboxed it yet. It just came through UPS. Let's get started. So like I said, guys, this is the Coolerworx Carbon Pro Edition shifter for the Focus ST RS. They've had a version out for the Fiesta now for a long time, and I've been waiting for them to make a Focus ST version. This cut right here is not from them. That's from me being reckless with my keys. But anyway, I've been waiting for them to make a version for the Focus ST, and they finally came out with one. So as soon as they did, I pre-ordered it, and I was like, well, go big or go home. So I got the Carbon Pro Edition, and I cannot wait to see what this looks like. So without further ado, let's open this thing up and take a look inside. Oh my gosh, this thing is absolutely beautiful. Look at this. I didn't expect it to come fully built. I thought it was gonna come in some pieces and I was gonna have to put it together. Oh my God, I don't even want to take it out. Look at how beautiful this thing is. This thing looks awesome. Holy smokes. All right, let's take it out. I'll show you what it looks like up close. Wow. Oh my God. Look at that. Look at that. Wow. So I don't need to tell you, you can see for yourself. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. It is beautiful. Just as much of a, a tool as it is a work of art. So really quick, let's go into what makes this the Pro Edition. And it is this lightweight carbon fiber shaft. This is 100% carbon fiber right here. That's really the only difference, I believe, between the Pro Edition and the regular edition. The Pro Edition is $100 more. I do understand if some people are like, well, I don't really care about having carbon fiber. I'm going to cover up this shaft anyway with the shift boot. So if you're going to cover up, if this shaft isn't going to be showing and you don't really care about the weight savings, then yeah, get the original version. But, this was a lot of money, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of money for me. And for $100 more, I'm already spending a lot of money. I was like, let me just go ahead and get, the biggest or the baddest, go big or go home. So I was like, screw it. Let me get the Carbon Edition. And I love it, it looks amazing. This thing shipped all the way from Poland. So I'm like, well, if it's gonna make the journey, let me get the carbon one. So apparently you can actually spec out the color of this shifter cable sheath right here. I thought about red or yellow, but I was like, I don't know. So let me just choose black, and I like that. Black, it looks real stealth, you know, nothing crazy. You know, and that'll match with anything, any interior stuff I do in the future. It comes with the reverse lockout. Super tactile. It feels so good. Oh my gosh, dude. Like, in my car, this is nothing compared to my car. The way it feels, the reverse lockout and my Focus with the stock shifter feels like crap compared to this. This is so smooth. You know, this is probably something that needs to be lubricated with some dry lube, you know, or just some white lithium grease, just for longevity. But man, this simple action right here, the reverse lockout, feels so good. Jesus. You know, I can only imagine how this is going to feel actually shifting it. The other cool thing about this is that the actual shift knobs that it comes with are the very popular, like M by 1.25 thread pitch, I think it is. Whatever the popular one is. So you can literally go on anywhere, eBay, wherever, Amazon, your favorite retailer, and get your favorite shift knob and you know, use the Allen key here, unscrew it, and then screw the new one on without having to worry about the reverse lockout system. Because on the Focus ST with the stock shifter, the reverse lockout prohibits you from using a lot of aftermarket shift knobs. But the fact that, you know, they have separated the two and now you can use pretty much any popular shift knob with this is awesome. So if I ever get tired of this shift knob, I just switch to the new one. So yeah, this thing is great. I can't wait to throw it in the car and see how it looks. So we're gonna go ahead and while it's off the car, I'm gonna try and shift it for the first time. Oh man, that is smooth. Wow. That feels amazing. It is so smooth. Yeah, that's gonna be awesome, actually, in the car. So the whole point of me shifting, no pun intended, but the whole point of me shifting to this shifter over the stock unit is for crisper shifts, for shorter shifts, and to keep the shift knob closer to the steering wheel when I'm on track and everything. I do have a race seat coming. I've already done the harness and everything like that. You guys will see that in a little bit, the harness bar in the car. So I'm gonna be super locked into my seat when I'm doing autocross and track days, and I don't wanna have to be reaching for the shifter. It's not a necessity. There's a lot of people that use the stock shifter, swear by it, and don't ever change it. Or they just do the bushings or the short shifter on the tranny. That's fine. But, you know, like I said, I have a sweet spot for really cool shifters, and this is going to help a lot. It's going to really elevate where the knob is, make it quicker to shift, more solid. And as you can see here, there's a bunch of different adjustments. So these these bolts, they come loose, so you can adjust. As you can see, you can adjust all these different you know, the metrics of the shifter and how it sits and everything. See this right here, these are loose. So you're gonna have to do a lot of adjustment to figure out, you know, what you like. And I'm still trying to figure out exactly all that you can adjust. There seems to be some things here for, you know, for adjusting. So it's gonna take a while for me to get it perfect, but once I do, I'm sure that this is gonna be super awesome. Oh yeah, this thing looks great. Hey guys, all right, so I've got the shifter out of the car now. There's the stock shifter. Didn't take me very long. There's some detailed write-ups online about how to take it out, a bunch of YouTube videos about how to uninstall the stock shifter. CJ Pony Parts has a million videos on taking out the stock shifter. The Coolerworx shifter comes with great instructions here. Just follow the instructions and they'll explain how to take it out as well. It doesn't take much time at all. I've personally taken this entire thing apart a bunch. I've had 2 head units in here, so it took me no time, maybe 10 minutes total to take everything out. And then once you get all the wires and stuff out of the way, there's just really 4 bolts in here. As you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you pop these cable ends off, and then the shifter comes out. Do yourself a favor, head to the hardware store and get one of these. Don't even try to take those cable ends off with anything else. These right here, don't try to wiggle them with your hand, whatever. You're just going to frustrate yourself. Just go to the hardware store and buy this. It's like 10 bucks. It pops out in half a second. Makes it so easy. And the last tip that I would give you are these cable attachment points right here. Let's see if I can put the light on that. So in the instructions, it doesn't really detail specifically how to take these out. It tells you to push it towards the front of the car and lift. What it means is these ends right here, let me try and zoom in. These ends are actually spring-loaded, so you have to, it's going to be sitting in a bracket. You're going to have to push, I don't know if you can see this, but you actually have to push. See that motion? You have to push and then pull up and it slides right out. And it's the same thing with this one. This is also spring-loaded as well. You know, you just push and pull right out. Push, and this collar will slide up. And then you pull it right out of the bracket. So that's how you get these out. And then you pull the shifter out and you can put the new one back in. So if we go back over here to the actual shifter, you can see that the Coolerworx is, you know, significantly taller than the stock shifter. I really like the placement of the stock shifter, but this is gonna work a lot better. And remember, the shift knob on the Coolerworx is interchangeable. It's that universal thread, not universal thread, but a very popular thread for shift knobs. So, whereas I couldn't find, like, you really have to search and buy expensive shift knobs to work with the stock stuff because you have to worry about that reverse lockout mechanism. But with this shifter, the reverse lockout is completely separate from the actual shift knob. So I can run almost any shift knob I want. If I want a taller one, I can go get a taller shift knob of almost any design from eBay, Amazon, wherever you want to get a shift knob from. So that was pretty much the easy part. Putting this in and adjusting it's going to be the hard part, but not too bad. I mean, this is the fun part now. We put it in, we adjust it, get it where we need it to go. And yeah, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay guys, so this is the tough part. Once you're ready to install the shifter, these cable ends have to be cut off. All right, as you can see, I've already cut one off. I tried a couple different methods to do this. To get this one off, what I did was I used a flat cutting tool. All right. And then I chopped off the head of this. All right, I chopped off the head. And then I used my heat gun to loosen up the rest of the material that was stuck on here. And then I used some of these shears here to break it and crack it. Then I used pliers to pull it off. So I did that one. As you can see, I still have to do this one right here. So for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these locking pliers. I did the same thing. I used a cutting wheel to cut off the head. I use these locking pliers, and I'm going to use my pliers right here and use my shears and just kind of crack and pull away at this thing. Don't worry about damaging the actual metal of the shifter cable. I'm pretty sure you won't. It's really tough. This plastic will give before the metal does. So yeah, this is the trickiest part of the install because it's tight in here. But if you don't have you need some locking pliers and some regular pliers, and at least some shears. So you need at least pliers and shears, because this plastic is really hard. A heat gun might expedite things. I don't really like using a heat gun around all these electronics and everything. It didn't do any damage, but so I'm just going to try to do it with the shears and the pliers this time. Another thing is, you are going to have to cut this. There's a little plastic bridge that goes right here. You're just going to have to cut that, because the shifter has to sit right there. So you got to remove that entirely. It's not a big deal. It doesn't do anything, really. It's just structural support, I guess. So yeah, I'm about to get this piece off, and then we'll move on to fitting the new cable ends on. Okay, guys, so it took some prodding and pulling. Let me try to get some light there. It took some prodding and pulling, but I finally got the rest of that cable end off, and I have my cable, the metal part, exposed here. So now I'll show you what to do next. So included in the package are these cable ends that they want you to use. They've got set screws right here. Make sure you put some Loctite on these set screws so they never pop out, because if they ever come out, this cable essentially may pop off and then you lose the ability to shift. So just put Loctite on there so they never come out. They come with a little locking ring that goes in there as well. But so these go on the cable, these slip over, and you tighten them down with the set screws. Make sure you put Loctite, and then you pop them onto the shifter, and you bolt everything down and start adjusting. All right, everybody, so the next piece of the puzzle is this, actually getting these cable ends to fit on the cables. Once you get the OEM cable ends off, you try to get these to fit on here, and they don't fit at all. It's very, very, very tight on here. And in the instructions, it says to the new metal end must be fully inserted onto the cable end. Some little filing of cable end can be required. So that's just great, but it's too easy. I don't suggest actually filing the cable in, just because if you mess this up, you have to go get a new shifter cable, and who knows where you can find one of those. I mean, dealership, but might take a few days, and then you can't drive your car. So what I did instead, this is the one I just did, was I took a 1/4 inch drill bit. I took a 1/4 inch drill bit, and it fit absolutely perfectly. Well, it didn't fit this way before. It was a lot tighter, but I just drilled it out a little bit, and now it slips. I'll show you. It slips perfectly over the new cable end. All right. Slips all the way on. All right, you need them to go all the way on. That way you can put the set screws in there, and they can retain the cable end's position. So use a 1/4 drill bit, 1/4 inch drill bit, and just do a couple passes through here, and it'll be wide enough to slip right onto the cable end, and you won't have to modify the cable end at all, because like I said, if you mess this up, if you're like trying to file it down and you chop this off or do something else to where it can no longer accept this, then you're kind of screwed. This right here you can drill out, make a little bit bigger very easily without damaging anything. So all right, now to do the next one, and then finally put the shifter in. Okay, everybody, so the shifter is mounted into the car now, and it's rock solid. I've got to say, that was pretty difficult. I'm not even going to lie to you. I think that I'm a pretty strong guy, and that was hard to put in. If I had to do it again, I would definitely unbolt the transmission cable ends set this in here and then put them back after the shifter was mounted in here. But I just manhandled it in here, and everything is bolted in now. It's super solid. If I try to shake this, it shakes the whole car. Now the real hard part starts. And I thought that was hard already, but so we've got to adjust everything in here. The play, you've got that adjuster, you've got this adjuster right here, and the lockout adjustments go right here for reverse. So they've got instructions about how to do that. So I'm going to do that, and I'll let you know how that goes. But I'll tell you right away, this thing is super stiff. Like, insanely stiff. I'm in neutral right now. And if I were to go into first, that's first. I guess that's second. No, that's neutral. I can't even bring it into second, so we've got some adjusting to do, and I think that's going to take the longest time. But I'll let y'all know once it's completely adjusted. Okay, guys, so I finally finished adjusting everything. This is set up based on the diagram. So this right here, this one right here is the lockout, preventing the shift lever from going into reverse when you're trying to shift into first. All right, this is the stopper for reverse, so you don't go too far. And this is the 5th 6-gear lockout if you so choose. Like if you're doing a track day and don't want to shift into 5th and 6th gear. And this prevents you from going too far. So I think I have everything adjusted exactly where I like it. I had to turn the car on and shift, make sure everything went into each gear, and it did work. And man, this feels so much freaking better. There's no words to describe this at all. Like, one thing I did have to do was I did have to go to my shift plate in the front of the car and go from 40% reduction to 20% because it was too short. And as a result, the length and width adjustments here, the gate was too narrow. So I could barely find neutral, and making adjustments, I only went from one extreme to another. I couldn't really fine tune it. So if you have a short shift plate, let me show you what I'm talking about. Right here, like I do, I have the FSWorks one. You probably will need to lower, I know my transmission is super dirty, sorry. You probably will need to lower the shift reduction. So I had it all the way out here at 40%. Now I have it at 20%, which is the lowest reduction. So reducing it here, reducing the shortness of the throw here, allows you to really fine-tune the throw here and still be able to, shift reliably with your transmission and not, not grind gears and stuff like that. So just to show you what I have it set up to, this is honestly very conservative. Let's see. So right now I have, it's in neutral right now, and it's so super tight. Like neutral, that's neutral. It's like spring bound. So right now, let me show you what I have. So first, second, third, fourth, and then 5th and 6th. I'm not going to go all the way out there, but I'll show you again. So first, second, third, fourth, and then 5th and 6th. Super, super solid, super responsive. Like, this is absolutely nuts. So, I'm going to put everything back together, take it on a test drive, and then in the morning, or tomorrow when it's daylight out, do some more recording so you guys can see just how short the shifts are, but I'm already loving this. I could not imagine going back to stock. Like this feels like something out of a legitimate race car. Like, this is crazy. And then to set it all off, you got the carbon fiber here. The reverse, it works well. It's really stiff. So that's another reason I had to go from 40% reduction to 20% reduction, and so that reverse could go in easier. It is really stiff. You know, but I don't want to have to be fighting for reverse every day, so I just reduced it. But yeah, this is great. Like, it's beautiful. I'm probably going to leave the little boot, the shift boot. I'm going to leave that out. I want to be able to see the mechanism, but I'll put the other stuff around here. So, all right, guys. Yeah, this was a pretty long install, but well worth it. Absolutely. Okay, so I'll see you during the next part of the review.